Shinobi, open your eyes. For the sake of your master.
Hey everyone, it's BlueLizardJello and welcome back to Everything Possible in Sekiro. Shadows died twice. Last time we entered into the Fountainhead Palace, we took out the true corrupted monk, and we made our way through about half of the area, trying not to become old in the process, thanks to enfeeblement. And today we're going to be diving deeper into Fountainhead Palace and actually completing that area and taking out the Divine Dragon, which is going to set us up for the true endgame. Now I'm here at Ashina Castle. We're going to zip on down to Kuro's room. This has nothing to do really with progression of the game or the plot itself, but by talking to him, we can get yet another healing item, and trust me when I say you may want some of these late game healing items for the final few bosses.
I hope he's alright. Huh? Oh, Wolf, are you unhurt?
My lord.
Ah, this is for you.
So we get another sweet rice ball. Wolf senses it was crafted with feelings of resolve and a reluctance to part ways. Such deep emotions tend to be mumbled to oneself rather than shared, which is exactly what Lord Kuro was doing. Now, the nice thing is this does not stack with the previous sweet rice ball that he gave us, meaning we can actually hold multiples of these if we so wish. So combine this with rice and fine snow, you have an insane amount of really good endgame healing items.
Dragon tears. I will obtain them and return.
Yes, I'm counting on you, Wolf.
And just for a little bit more dialogue.
It appears the Interior Ministry's army is beginning to stir, but there's no need to worry, Wolf. Lord Ishin comes to check on me now and then. His visits give heart.
And speaking of Lord Ishin, we do have a couple of drinks, so let's pop out this window. And we're going to give him both the Ashina and the Dragon Spring Sake. So just going out the back, hop on down. And let's have him talk to us about the fools that he used to revel with.
By the way, Sekiro, it sounds like your battle to sever immortality with Kuro is near a conclusion. You killed all those who interfered.
I did.
I see. You did well to kill without hesitation.
I brought sake.
Smart thinking, my boy. Let me see. That's some good sake. This is how we drank when we won our battles. The people of Ashina, together as one.
Could you tell me about the rebellion?
Oh, the rebellion. We just took back what was stolen from us.
That's...
Before this land was... It's a place where we, the Ashina people, lived. Where the waters flowed straight from the source. We were a people who loved our country dearly. And we made good sake to boot. But we were heretics. And we were weak. Naturally, we were overrun. Trampled into submission for many long, excruciating years. We couldn't even pray at the water from the springs. The way we were then. Even good sake couldn't get us truly drunk.
But then the world fell into chaos.
Yes. Amidst the chaos that was Japan. The endless casualties. The flames of war. We found the perfect opportunity to take back our land. But now, it's a place of death. It's a bitter thing indeed.
Here.
Well, well. If it isn't Dragon Spring. You've really done it this time, Sekiro. That hit the spot. Whenever I used to get my hands on Dragon Spring, bunch of fools would start coming to me, demanding drinks.
Fools.
Fools who wouldn't let go of their cross spears while they drank. Fools who would steal sake using illusion techniques. Fools tinkering with half-finished prosthetics. sake cup in hand, and even the cunning owl, who despite his size would turn bright red after the first drop.
That's...
Yes, your father was a fool too. To the fools.
yes.
Don't forget, Sekiro. Hesitate, and you lose. That is the way of war.
And we've now gotten all of the dialogue that Sake can give us out of Ishin, which means we've gotten all the dialogue there is with Sake in general, which is perfect. Now, before we head out to Fountainhead Palace, I am going to do a little bit of upgrading, so we're going to use the Homeward Idol, and I'm going to use this to travel to the Ashina Outskirts Stairway, so I can buy a Phantom Kunai and 3 scrap iron from Aniyama. Now, this is not even a prosthetic tool that I'm going to be using in today's episode, but just because we have the materials, we might as well. Let's use a bulging coin purse, as well as a heavy. And that may not still be enough to do the upgrade and the purchase, because the Phantom Kunai is 3,000. And then the scrap iron, 3 of those is going to cost 450. Yeah, I believe I need 1,500.
Until next time, good sir. Come.
So we will use some more coin purses when we get back to the dilapidated temple, which I could have absolutely had used my Homeward Idol to get there, but this Buddha idol is just right here, and back to the dilapidated temple. Before we get too close, let's use, we need 3 of these. Libu is 1,500.
This...
And there, not the Leaping Flame, but the Phantom Kunai. This is going to unlock some further upgrades. Now, Suzako's Lotus Umbrella is going to be something we're going to want soon. There is an upcoming boss. Many of you probably already know which one I'm talking about, but I'll keep it to myself for just a little bit. But we need another Fulminated Mercury, and we'll be picking that up before long. So let's grab the Phantom Kunai. That unlocks the Great Feather Mist Raven, and then ultimately that'll get us to the Lazulite Shuriken.
Hey, don't...
Well, at long last, let's head back to Fountainhead Palace, set up our build, and then we will get to exploring. There is a lot of loot to be gotten, a lot to be done, a couple more prayer beads to be had, and some mini-bosses, including the final Headless. So, let's head to Fountainhead Palace, the flower viewing stage. I love the Great Carp. It's kind of a shame what we're going to have to do to him. Right, anyway, so here we are on the bridge just outside of the remainder of Fountainhead Palace, and let us get prepared for what we're going to need. So, we're going to be using quite a few shurikens for the dogs that are in the area, Piercing Sabimaru for our Okami, and then, of course, Phoenix's Lilac Umbrella. We do have another Shishiman Warrior here. We're going to be employing this with Projected Force to hopefully do a lot of damage very quickly. Combat Arts, might as well switch that out for Floating Passage just for fun. Blood Smoke I will be using. In terms of quick items, I do want some healing, so I have my Healing Gourd and pellets. I'm going to put on the Ceremonial Tanto. I don't know why I put it in the last slot, I just do. I am also going to be using Divine Confetti again for that Shishiman Warrior, and because Spirit Emblems are going to be so important today, I'm actually going to be occasionally popping some Mibu Balloon of Spirit to further my collection. That way I don't run out as I'm using them. I'm going to start with the Ceremonial Tanto. Use a pellet here. I probably didn't even need to because I'm going to be getting some stealth death blows here very soon. But you can see we have a number of Okami. You can see some just up there. There's some patrolling. There's some that are just playing hacky sack. And those enemies that are kicking the ball up, they're not the most dangerous. In fact, they typically die very quickly. But in conjunction with the other Okami, they can be deadly because that ball has incredible stun potential. So if you're fighting one and one of those kicks a ball at you, you can get hit, get stunned, and it can be over in a heartbeat. We could zip up there and attack them directly, But you know me, direct is really not my modus operandi. So, I'm going to head over here, grab some Mibu Balloon of Soul. There's another one just under this platform here. And then we're going to head around the backside of this building. We're going to do a double grapple up to one of the Okami that does have the hacky sack, as I like to call it, even though it's a little bit big. We don't even have to stealth here. Just target and go to the side, jump up the rock, get that death blow. We have another one up on that roof right here. We can jump on over. Don't even need to stealth here either. Unless, of course, you completely botch that death blow. And I should be using my piercing Sabimaru, but I'm just being difficult. Got most of my health back at least. Now, as I suck up the loot here, this is a pretty good loot farm, as well as XP. The XP is not the greatest. There's going to be some spots in the end game that are better. But if you kill everything, just like we did in Hirata States early on, and then pop some balloons, like the Possession Balloon and the Gold Balloon, you can get a decent amount of sand and some really good drops, including your adamantite scrap. Excuse me, had a brain malfunction there for just a moment. So instead of going up and taking on some more Okami, we are going to stick to the waterways. There's going to be a few lightning dogs you want to deal with. Some of them just at the base of this small waterfall here. So let's try and get target. Let him go and investigate. There we go. Drop down over here, grab some eel liver. Now, when you are getting close to the Okami, like we are here, you can probably walk. I don't recommend sprinting. Let's grab these ceramic shards. But I definitely recommend staying fairly quiet, because if not, you're going to be fighting the Okami a little bit sooner than what we would like to. Now, down over here, I actually want to get the dog's attention only because there's another dog just up there that will come and investigate, and I don't want that Okami to see me. So I'm going to drop down in the water and start quickly taking them out before they have a chance of lightning, and then wait till he comes and takes a look. Gonna slowly, hopefully, make his way over. Or he's not. That's okay. We can actually go and deal with him just up here. There we have it. Perfect. Make sure we suck up the loot, because these dogs do drop some loot, including precious bait. I did not know you could farm precious bait from them, which is kind of a waste, because they give you so many, and in this game you only need 2 to get the maximum reward from feeding the carp. So, today I learned. But in the waterfall, we have Mibu Possession Balloon, a couple of those. And then we do have the first mini-boss, which is that Shishiman warrior that I was telling you about. See him just there. Now, it's interesting. When you walk up on the Shishiman warrior, sometimes he's already channeling, which means that when you drop down, you can start taking terror damage or terror buildup right away. Other times, like now, he's not. Here's the thing. I have heard that you can get a death blow on him to start out the fight. He does have 2, just by jumping on top of him or even getting a stealth kill. But I have jumped from that lower rock. I've jumped from this rock. I have tried using Gachin Spirit Fall and dropping down into the waterfall. In all cases, I was not able to get a death blow. I've even jumped from way up top, beyond where the camera can even see right now, and I was never given the opportunity to death blow. So instead, we're just going to fight him kind of face-to-face, one-on-one, using some Divine Confetti and our Phoenix Lilac Umbrella for if he gets too far away and he uses that big beam attack. I'm actually going to drop down a little bit just so I can sprint at him instead of jumping at him. And you know what? Just to be on the safe side, in case I do see that terror build up, I will be using my modeled purple gourd. And let's go. Yep, there's that terror buildup. This is kind of a problem. Okay, Phoenix Umbrella. And then walk right up to him. Massive damage with that umbrella. Unfortunately, our Divine Confetti's already up. Now we can just walk right up to him like this. Nice big hit. And you know, I'm realizing that it's not that my Divine Confetti is up, it's that whenever you use the umbrella, you sheathe your sword, which ultimately puts your Divine Confetti above. And that is a lot of terror buildup. We're gonna have to... You know, though, if he just jumps for me, which he doesn't seem to want to do, that's alright. Let's heal up. Let's charge at him. I think this time I'm just going to deflect the beam. I just missed the mid-air death blow. Oh, what a shame. That would have been a perfect opportunity for that mid-air death blow when he was jumping around like that. That's alright. Wow, he is just making... Oh. Well, there's death blow number one. Not nearly as nice as I would have liked it. That's alright. I think. We got one more death blow. And we are going to have to Divine Confetti up again. Yeah, unfortunately the projected force isn't doing the damage that I had hoped, so we are just going to use our sword here. Oh my goodness. I went too quickly. Not going great. Whack away. Alright, let's let him fade. Oh, and there is the dog that I said we need to worry about. Umbrella up. Of course, I'm way too far. Oh, that time it didn't put my... Oh, you know what? It only sheathes your sword when you use Protected Force. I'm learning a lot in this episode. Longest I've ever had to fight him. Well, just one more hit ought to do it, and then we can, well, carry on with the rest of this level. And there it is. Far from my prettiest fight. Although, to be honest, I was struggling even in practice. I don't know why I find this one so difficult. But we get our very first Lapis Lazuli. Precious azure lazulite used for the highest level of prosthetic tool upgrades. Fountainhead lazulite is a symbol of eternity, and anything forged with it will never break nor rust thanks to the blessing of the Divine Dragon. Tools forged with the lazulite transcend human intellect and are dubbed as treasures of the Divine Dragon. Here's the thing, you need 10 of these in order to upgrade the 4 highest prosthetic tool. You only get 6 of these per playthrough, so if you're going for all achievements, all trophies, you need to do at least 2 playthroughs. You cannot farm this from any enemy type. It is only from drops or from picking it up after certain quest lines, or from purchasing from the pot nobles, as you'll see here momentarily. But he is finally dead. That was absolute mayhem. I apologize for that, but back here, behind the waterfall, we do have another bundled Jizo statue, which wouldn't have been bad for me to use in that fight, just in case. We're gonna go back to our loaded shurikens. start heading our way towards the big lake here. We got a couple of dogs up on the tree. Grab those spirit emblems. Jump and kill one. Jump and kill another. Get a light coin purse. Go around the side. And we have a heavy coin purse. And now it's time to start making our way up, killing some of the Okami, and getting all the loot that's up there, and making our way to the next pot noble. So we're going to actually head back to the beginning. There is another grapple point up there, and there are a number of Okami up on that viewing platform, but for now we're just going to head, like I said, right back to the beginning and almost start over. Frankly, starting over wouldn't even be the best or the worst choice, considering how many materials I've already used, but I think we're going to be able to make this work. From here, let's zip up to this platform, start getting the lay of the land. So a couple of Okami here. This first one is an archer, which are definitely easier to take down than the swordsman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my first balloon of spirit here. I'm going to sneak on past them. I want to get a backstab on him, and then we'll just take down the archer just with some brute force. Always use a shuriken anytime they jump, makes it very, very easy to take down. So from here, we got a couple here, both of them with the ball, but kill one, and then we'll just rush down the other one using Chasing Slice. And there it is. You can see just how quickly they go down. No issues whatsoever. Make sure we are looting along the way. So you can see down here, him practicing his hacky sack skills. He is just enamored with the talent. But we also have a couple of patrols down here, that viewing platform. Another hacky sacker. We have an elite in front of him. We also have a patrol here. Two guard. I mean, it is just positively chock full. But we should be okay as long as we play it intelligently. Now, where did that patrol go? Well, I'm going to zip on over here. As long as we do this right, we can walk onto the... Nah, normally I can walk onto the Torii Gate. I'm going to use Blood Smoke here. So we're going to Blood Smoke, so at least we can get this one. Now it's going to be a really, really hectic stealth game. And I wonder, that works. This is going very, very nicely. And it looks like those other two have actually, well, I did lose them for a time. I'm going to just use Sabimaru. Start taking him down. There we have it. And we want to get them separated if at all possible. Try not to fight them head to head. And at least get them poisoned. Oh, and unfortunately, the other one with the ball is being problematic because he's actually hitting us all the way from down there. This is perfect. Oh, big thrust. Let's heal up. And actually, if he wants to do that again... Oh! You can see that stun. We are going to have to back up and reset this. That stun got me good. That is alright. Oh, didn't mean that. I thought I still had my pellets equipped. Shuriken. I don't know why I didn't get Chasing Slice there. That was pure button mashing, I won't even lie. Well, we're still alive, so I guess that counts as something. So let's start making our way back to those other enemies that can still kind of see us. But that does mean we did get the patrols. We only have these two left. You can typically... Now, if I can only get one, I would like to get the one on the left, because that is the more dangerous of the two, but we'll have to see. In fact, let's back up a little bit, because if we zip on up to this tree, should be able to just... Perfect. You can see just how quickly they move, but how quickly they die as well. So we got them. Perfect. All the Okami in this area are now dead, so we can focus on all the rest of the loot. So, to get the loot, let's start making our way up top again. Zip on top of this roof and over here. Now, I do want to share something with you. Let me grab this Goken sugar. I have tried to make this jump. I've tried running and doing double jump from up here and down below. There does seem to be an invisible wall to prevent you from doing just that. So in order to get to that item and then the pot, noble, and shrine over there, there is a cave. You can see kind of comes out right there that we need to get to. And we'll be getting to that very, very shortly. So there's some pellets there that we want to get. So allow us to just, what we're going to do is we're actually going to use those ledges to zip all the way up. It's going to be some more Okami warriors to deal with. Hopefully we do it a little bit more gracefully, because healing is becoming kind of scarce. So double zip all the way up. In fact, now's the time we can go and get that other shrine to pot noble. So let's do that. So we're going to cross this waterfall. You can't really see it. It's kind of disguised, but that little knob right there is a grapple point. So just jump and trust the process. Is that a camouflaged gecko? Do they camouflage? Or is that a glitch of some sort? I mean, there is a... Oh, it's just glitched into the wall, it seems. I wonder if I can... That is very strange. I don't think... Oh, there we go. We got him. Wow. I got really no words for that. Anyway, we're going to zip on over here. We're going to grapple over to this knob, grab these spirit emblems, which are going to be very useful to us.
Hello? Hello?
Let's commune with this idol. I'm not going to rest, even though it's against my better judgment, because I want to be able to complete this without any of those Okamis respawning. Let's grab this divine confetti, and let's talk to the second pot noble.
Hello? Do you know about Carp scales? The priceless scales of the divine treasure Carp. Bring them to me, and I'll reward you handsomely.
So pot noble Koramori. So we also had Harunaga back in the Hirata Estates, who may have been excommunicated from Fountainhead Palace. We'll never know for sure. But he has the mask fragment left. Remember that Harunaga had one piece, and then the peddler outside of the abandoned dungeon had the third piece for 5,000 sen. And he also has a dragon's blood droplet, but he also has 2 lapis lazulis for 6 apiece. So I'm actually going to buy both of those and buy the dragon's blood droplet. Why not? And because we've spent some scales with him, I think it's 6, then we can talk to him a few times to get a little bit more dialogue and a quest, sort of.
You there! If you ever happen across another part like mine, ignore any requests he makes of you. He's the shame of our clan. He's a treasonous villain who attempted to kill the great Carp for his own benefit.
Interesting and ironic.
Most of my scales have returned, and I owe it all to you. Finally, the time has come for him to pay the price for his crime. But scales are priceless. It's almost as if I'm priceless too. You there, you've done a remarkable job thus far. I feel that I can rely on you. Will you listen to my tale? Or rather, my secret?
I want nothing more than to hear your secret, oh creature of the pot.
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. Truly remarkable. Now, the secret I mentioned. I'd like you to present this bait to the great Carp. Don't let anyone see if you can help it. Be as stealthy as possible.
And we get the truly precious bait, which doesn't look all that appetite. If bait has hair, you know it's something truly special. The Fountainhead Palace noble in the pot is obsessed with becoming one with the master. Present this bait to the master, the great Carp. Offer it earnestly but quietly, so no one knows.
Do that, and I'll bestow upon you the palace's secret treasure. Hello again. Take care with that bait. Quietly. Very, very quietly.
Because when someone hands you hairy slugs and wants you to feed it to something quietly, there's nothing suspicious about that. Once we get back to the Great Carp after visiting Hirata Estates again, we will have a choice. We can feed one of the two precious or truly precious baits to the Great Carp, and I'll talk more about what the implications are as we get a little bit closer. But what we're going to do here is we are going to zip back on up all the way to the top. Get to the top of the waterfall here. And how did we know that this is a FromSoft game? Because the door doesn't open from this side. Now down there, that is the carp feeding station. But in order to get there, we do have to be inside of or on the other side of these big doors so we can reach that grapple point. But down here, we are going to have some more Okamis that are right in that doorway. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down, grab those emblems, and then head down to that shiny, which is a couple of pellets. So let's grab that. We are only at 6. That could be a bit problematic. Let's grab these pellets. But what I can do is Ceremonial Tattoo. I will actually swap this back out now for my pellets, especially now that we've just gotten a few more. And I am going to pop another balloon here because I would like to get some more emblems if at all possible. And I'm going to try and do this without using a tool just so I can very, very quickly. That's not going well. And I should have just used a tool. Let's get some distance. We do have to worry about the archer, but if we can separate them, we'll be a little bit better off. So let's run down here. Now I think we will just go ahead and use the Sabimaru. I should not be changing my plan up. Let's just keep attacking now. There we go. Get some health back. Of course, we don't have the resurrection back yet, so we still are at risk. Death blow. Haven't quite gotten our resurrection back, it seems. Nope, it's still blacked out. Now there's 2 more directly below us. Let's just kind of get the lay of the land again. This is where it's going to get truly dangerous and why I want more spirit emblems. There are a lot of enemies in close proximity. Ultimately, I'd love to get the 2 elite taken out, which are the ones on just the left and right of the stairs, which means using a blood smoke. We're going to have to do this very, very carefully. So I'm going to hop down here. Now, I believe with the sugar, we can get a stealth death blow on them, but just in case, I'm going to get my shurikens out and just go for the kill nice and quickly. There we go. Just start pinning them down. There we go. Excellent. Not as many emblems as I would like, I'll be honest. That's alright, we're very close to an idol. We just have to take out this massive horde, which we should be able to do. I think. I'm so confident in my abilities. That's right, we do still have some healing. So what I will do here is I'm going to use my blood smoke, like I said, to kill at least those 2. How many emblems do I have total? I only have 9, so I'm only going to be able to use it once, but that'll get those 2 killed. Then I'll pop a divine confetti. and maybe some piercing Sabimaro, and we'll go from there. Right, so we're just going to go nice and quickly. Blood smoke. And now let's start running. And we're going to run away as best we can. And got one. Two now. Let's loop around. Try and, again, get them separated. This looks pretty good. Keep attacking. There we have it. Okay, we have enough for possibly a poison. We got a poison, that's good. So let's just keep up the pressure now. And there we have it. And for killing that giant mob, we do get some more Dragon Spring sake. Unfortunately, we have now given everyone who drinks sake some of this. And it's not something we can just consume ourselves. But there we have it. So that is now taken care of. That actually went incredibly smoothly. So now we can finally go to a shrine and we can rest. And if you're not very good at lightning deflection or reflection, now's a good time to practice. That enemy right there, that is the Okami leader Shizu. He's the one who is just pelting us with lightning while we're down in the water. We can use lightning reversal, not reflection, excuse me, or honestly the easiest way is just to charge him because he spends a lot of time in the air and you can get a free mid-air death blow. So I'm going to try and show you a lightning reversal and then just kill him with a mid-air death blow. So let's just start running just in case he does the lightning right away. He doesn't. That's... Oh! Alright, let's hope for lightning. There it is. Man, I totally missed it. There it is. He's also easy to kill with the Sabimaro too, so... But let's just wait for him to jump again. And... Nope, missed it. We gotta wait for it. Let's heal up. There it is. There's our prayer bead. He is now dead, which means we are safe to swim in the lake. But unfortunately, I just didn't play that to the best of my ability. So the lightning reversal, the best bet is to, as soon as you know that it's coming, start blocking. Wait until just before the lightning is actually about to be cast. Jump up and then immediately start mashing your right bumper, your attack button, and that will send it back. But you also want to be rather close because it doesn't send the lightning very far. But for him, honestly, either Sabimaro or just mid-air death blow is the way to go. Now, before we start exploring the water, let's get this bulging coin purse, and I am going to actually use my Homered Idol to go back to that shrine I was just at, so I can use my prayer beads, as well as possibly buff up. Haven't decided yet. So from here, let's enhance our physical attributes with our 4 prayer beads, get our 9th prayer necklace. Robert's father came from afar across seas to the south, in search of the undying. Repelling 1,000 blades was a small price for the blessing of rejuvenation. I find this one interesting only because the other necklaces, if you get the prayer beads in a somewhat sequential order, the necklaces kind of tell a story about where you're at that time, whereas this one is harkening back to Robert and his dad, who we met back in Senpo Temple, or at least his father we did. And yes, Senpo Temple is connected to Fountainhead Palace, at least indirectly, but I don't know. This one just almost feels out of place. I can't imagine you're picking up your 9th prayer necklace in Senpo Temple. So let's sit back over to this branch. You can see that Okami leader Shizu is now gone. We're going to grapple over here just to make it a little bit safer to drop from. And you can see an NPC over there, and that's where we're going to be heading. This is the sister of the NPC that we met in the last episode, who warned us about the ones that would cause enfeeblement.
Young man, do you happen to be going to the palace?
Yes.
If you are, you should take the back path. Nowadays, it's underwater, but there is a large cave you can take to get there. Only, I hear the great Carp now sleeps there.
Why are you helping me?
The gates to the palace have been closed for a long time now. I have a very important task I must tend to. But I couldn't possibly do it with this body of mine. Might you open the door to the palace, young man?
Absolutely, we can. So now, let's go and see this cave that she was talking about. So let's dive down. Get spooked by the great Carp. Kind of follow him for just a moment. That's the cave that she's referring to that will get us back into the palace. But for now, we have a lot of looting to do. So let's grab this ceramic shard. Go under the house that we were just on top of. We get a lump of grave wax. Excellent. And there are a total of 7 treasure carps in this lake. You only need to get 5 of them if you've been following along and you're trying to buy everything from the pot nobles. So that's 1. And the reason I say that is if you have done everything up till now, including the side quest, and there's going to be another NPC we interact with who will give us 4 in a little bit, you will have enough to buy everything from the 2 pot nobles with 2 scales to spare. And we get some more precious bait. From here, we're going to start kind of going out into the wider lake. Now there are a number of the man-eating carp, and we can kind of see as we loop around here, some of them are going to be with the treasure carp scale, or the treasure carp as well. These 2 out here, these treasure carp, are the most difficult to get. The other ones you can kind of just sit around and wait for. So if I don't get these in a timely manner, I am not going to worry about it, to be quite honest. But for now, let's start focusing on the man-eaters. Definitely a good idea just to kind of block, let them come to you. Then take a bunch of hits as soon as you let your guard down. But if you just dash and then use an attack, you cover a lot of ground really quickly, which is very, very nice. Now I will heal up here. So if I go out there, he's going to see me. He's going to see me very quickly, and he's going to disappear. So I'm not even going to go after them just yet. And you don't want to go deep down there because there are some very dangerous enemies. And I'm sure you know exactly what those are. But here we have a red lump. Interesting that a red lump is sitting here. I don't really know what the implications of that are. But further back, we have a light coin purse and some scrap magnetite, 3 of them. There is the bridge that the great Carp broke earlier, so we're going to stay kind of just below the surface here. Head around here. This is where the adamantite scrap was in the last episode. We are going to deal with these man-eaters. They do seem to have a hard time detecting you if you are beneath them. So if you stay below the surface and actually below them, you might have an easier time getting them. Now, let's get into the cover here. You can see when we get that vignette around the sides, because we do have this treasure carp we'd like to get now if we can. Let's kind of watch his path. The nice thing is, unlike crystal lizards or the wandering madness in Bloodborne, these treasure carp will actually respawn just by you standing right exactly where there are. So there's another treasure carp there, so let's dive further down, see if we can get around him. Almost certainly going to see us. Alright, this is looking... Oh, no, he just disappeared. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause right here. And actually, we can go into this grass and wait for him. And it doesn't even take long. Now let's just wait for him to come back. Look at how close he is. We don't even have to swim for him. So there's another treasure carp scale. We're going to keep going around. We want to get to that building right there. We have a couple more treasure carp right here, though. We may be able to get in the grass for one of them. Nope, they both just got out of here. That's all right. Again, let's just wait patiently. Doesn't take long at all. And once they dash, even if you break line of sight, they will disappear, so you just have to wait patiently. So one's already back. There's one. Treasure carp scale. Now because he spawns closer to this grass, let's get in here. And like I said, I am not concerned about those other treasure carp because I don't actually even need them. And I haven't found a reliable way to even get them. So from here, let's go inside this building. You can probably already see the shinies. There's 3 more treasure carp scales. 1, 2, and 3. And now it's time for the next mini-boss and the final Headless. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to this building now that we've killed out all the man-eater carp, because you can't buff underwater. But what we can do is get ready for the fight up here, swim down nice and quickly, and this one actually has an apparition, an illusion. And we want to kill him first. He goes down very, very quickly, and then we can focus on the Headless. Now, the tactic is the same as the other underwater Headless that we've already fought, which is just lock onto them, do circles around when they're throwing out those tendrils of terror, if you will, and then wait for an opening, go in, dash attack, maybe one other attack depending on how big of an opening, and then get out and just rinse and repeat. Easier said than done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this out for my modeled purple. I have my Divine Confetti, and I will be using an Akko's. If you're really brave, you can use a Yashiriku's. And we are going to buff, sugar, and jump. And we want to start swimming over this way, because this is where the spirit is. You probably actually could have done better by going to that roof, but here we are. There is the spirit way over there, so we're just going to swim this way. You can see they're already onto us. Oh, I locked onto the wrong one. That's a problem. Watch those tendrils. Okay, we're gonna have to model and heal. And just close that gap. Back up. Watch the tendrils. Okay, we just button mashed for the win. And now get out of there. And we do need to go up a little bit. And now we're just gonna start again doing our circles. Now, we don't have our Divine Confetti anymore. That should be fine. There is an opening, dash and attack just once, and then start doing circles again. There's the grab attack, dodge when the kanji starts to fade. You can get good 3 hits on that one. Here's the best attack though, the big sword swipe. Do a couple of hits. Oh, you got me. That's alright, we're still alive, we can back up. Luckily that doesn't somehow build up terror. I have no idea how. Okay, here come the terror tendrils. Just do laps. I hate when it gets into a loop of this, though. That's an attack I like, though. Let's get in there. Just 1 hit. Back up. The sword, we'd love to see it. Just a couple. And there's 3. Back up. Just 2. Dash to the side. And there it is. The final Headless has been defeated. We get the Yashiriku's Spirit Fall. Headless are the ruined form of corrupted heroes who once fought for their country. This brave soul's twin was lost in utero. He may not have fallen to the palace nobles had his sibling been at his side. And I kind of like the idea that the spirit is his, well, long-lost twin from in utero. But Yashiriku's Spirit Fall, we know how the candy works. Spirit Fall just uses our spirit emblems instead of a consumable candy. And we now have 6 skill points, which means we can finally get Shadow Rush. But down here by the corpse of yet another great carp, covered in a larva it seems. Some more treasure carp scales, a couple of those. And then we have another prayer bead. And that prayer bead, we only have 3 more in the entirety of the game to collect. So from here, we are going to start heading up top. We have over here, on this fallen log, we got some more precious bait. There's just so much of it. And again, you only need 2. And then behind this pillar, we have a light coin purse, and then directly across and just slightly higher, and we have more precious bait. And that's it for loot in the lake. Now, since we're here, thought I would have had him. Anyway, I'm not even going to waste my time or yours trying to kill them. Again, if you've done everything, gotten all of the treasure carp from Hirata Estates, done all the side quests, then you should be in really good shape for buying all the inventory from the 2 pot nobles. Oh, here's a couple more man-eaters I apparently forgot about. It's funny how some of them give only about 12 XP and these are given 183, which just seems overkill for a fish that dies with a single hit. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're swimming back towards the NPC on the roof. You can see her right there, so we can go through the cave. Now here's the thing. I'm not a smart man. Okay? I'm going to be just clear about that. And I think this episode probably shows that. But as we approach the Carp Cave, we can go into these weeds here. We can see him start to swim up. But right down at the bottom, there's a shiny. And that shiny is to try and trick you into going to get it because it's just a light coin purse. You can come back after the Great Carp has been dealt with and get it very easily and safely. So that's what we should do, right? It's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I am going to wait for him to come and do one more pass and start turning around. We are going to just beeline for that shiny, pick it up, and then go right towards the exit. There's no other loot to be had. So let him start going. He is going to detect us, but we just want to very quickly ignore the warning that we're about to get. Got the light coin purse, and we just start swimming. And wow, actually, I've never done this undetected. That's kind of fun. Huh, interesting. Dive down. Oh, that was nice. That's somewhat makes up for the Shishiman warrior. And I just love how calm and peaceful it is back here. We have 3 grapples, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 because I can count. Let's grab this idol, which is aptly named the Palace Grounds Idol. And inside here, we have a number of the palace nobles, but they're a weaker variety, and they're just feeding on these nasty corpses. And actually, we're going to leave them alone and open this door. This is the door that we saw from the other side. And I'm still going to ignore them. They're eventually going to aggro onto me, but I want to grab this chest right here. Or they're not going to aggro. Oh, there it is. And we get our final gourd seed, which will give us a total of 10 of our healing flask. Open this door. Now I'm actually going to run back here, jump over them. Again, not killing them just because I find this to be really interesting. Now that we've opened that up, once we rest, of course, I didn't actually... Oh, I did rest. They are all dead now. And the NPC that we just met on the rooftop who asked us to open the doors has seemingly killed them all.
You beasts. You tricked him all this time. Nobility this, and eternity that. Pretty lies to fool him. Give him back! Father! My father! Give him back!
I do wish we got more of a story with them, because the 2 sisters and their father, and we haven't even met the father, it really is kind of heartbreaking what the nobility have done to their father. Now we have this palanquin here. This is not the same palanquin that we entered to come to Fountainhead, nor is it the one that we saw originally by the Great White Serpent, but I think this belongs to a woman that we're going to see up at the top of the palace, but we'll get there in just a bit. First, we are going to be zipping on top of the building. In order to get to the feeding grounds, we just jump over to this to that branch. Nice and simply, right? There it is. And we're going to drop down, zip to this root, and we do have that Okami. He hasn't seen us yet, but the problem is if he sees us and we grapple over, it is an archer, so chances are he's going to hit us in the air. So what I actually want to do, a little bit of a stutter there, I want him to start shooting at us so we have possibly a better chance of being not in the air. That works. And let's wait till... Oh, he didn't jump. You want to jump? You want to jump? No? I just like hitting them out of the air. Anyway, let's... There we go. Anyway. We killed them. Now, there's one more Okami on that bridge right there, but the rest of these enemies that see us are just dogs. So we can just not worry too much about them. In fact, we can just jump all the way over to this roof. Kill that dog. Give this wall a hug because it looked lonely. Grab a pair of Akko sugar. And kill that dog. And from here, we're going to drop down. There is another dog right here to kill. And another one here. Might as well. 278 XP. Nothing to scoff at. Drop down onto this roof and then over. I missed it. There is an item to be had. Oh gosh, I got turned around. Oh, it's right over here. I knew I was close. Get some Ungo sugar. We have another idol to grab, and that is the father. But before we go and talk to him, actually, before we do this, we're going to go take care of this one last Okami and get the last little bit of loot. So we'll just run up. Don't even have to be stealthy at all. Death blow him. Grab this heavy coin purse. Make sure we've gotten all the loot, which it looks like we have. Jump back over, and now we're going to travel back to Hirata Estates to go talk to the other pod noble because he also wants to give us some precious bait. And to get back there, let's just drop down. Grapple once. Grapple twice. And we're going to head on over here. We've already bought some of his inventory, but also because he now smells the Fountainhead on us, he's going to offer his own quest.
Hey! Did you bring me any scales? If you have any, I'll reward you handsomely. Listen, I want to become a carp, a giant carp that will continue growing and live a long, long life. A carp that never grows old. You have the aroma of the divine realm, and you've been so kind to me. Very well. I give this to you now.
And we get his truly precious bait. The Hirata noble in the pot is obsessed with thoughts of becoming a master. He who receives the scales of the carp becomes closer to a carp himself. I bestow unto you my
Bring
secret
it to
treasure.
the great carp of the divine realm. Then I will finally become a carp and bestow upon you my secret treasure. Don't forget to use the bait. I'm waiting.
So here's how this works. We now have two truly precious baits. We can feed one of them to the great carp, which will cause him to die. Whoever bait we use, the opposite one is going to die, whereas the one whose bait we use is actually going to become a carp. The nice thing is, they will both have the inventory of the other. So it doesn't really matter who you choose. You get the same exact reward. It's really just based on location, which, even though maybe this hot noble is more reliable than the other one, I'm not really sure. The other one is at least easier to get to because of the location of the idol. So that's the one I'm going to choose. So let's head back to the Feeding Grounds idol. So now that we have the precious bait and the truly precious bait, let's talk to the father.
Master, I call it. Feed it. The bell must be wrong.
You can see just how many years he has in his face. But here's the bell he's referring to, and watch what happens. And up he comes. Now, the little mini quest here is that by feeding him a precious bait, the father is going to give you a treasure carp scales. By giving him yet another precious bait, he will give you 3. You don't have to stop in between, though. So if we just toss 2 precious bait, and talk to the father.
Master, he will be joyous, happy. He will be rewarded.
So that is 1 treasure carp scale, and those are 3. We'll see here in just a second. There it is, so that's another 4. But now, again, we have to make a choice. I already know what choice I'm going to make. It's completely up to you. Any more precious bait you give does nothing. So it doesn't matter how many you've collected. Only 2 will get you a reward. But Haranaga from Hirata or Korimori from the Palace. And I am definitely going to be choosing Korimori. He swims away. You know what I didn't try, and I'm going to have to test this right now. Does he come back? Does not. So something has clearly happened. Now we have a couple things we can do. We can go and talk to the pot nobles now, or we can find out what happened to the Great Carp. And if you remember before, when we fought the Headless Ape, or the Guardian Ape, the waters there came from Fountainhead Palace, and we even found some truly or some regular precious bait in one of the waterways there. So we're going to be heading to the Sunken Valley Guardian Ape's watering hole. And there it is. The beautiful, beautiful carp. We killed it, all because some guy in a jar told us to. But we get the Great White Whisker, a priceless white whisker taken from the Great Colored Carp. While the Great Carp is naturally immortal, if killed, its whiskers can be plucked. The sound of the whisker being removed is surely music to the ears of certain people. Some would feel relief at the sound of their mission being completed, others, the joy of having their heart's desire granted. And now we're going to have to go back to the feeding grounds and find out, is the father overjoyed, or is he now sad at the loss of the Great Carp?
Master! 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 Where are you?
And I wonder if he's lamenting only because he is worried that maybe he could be in trouble when the master's not appearing. Because when we give him the whisker,
Master has At last, my duties are complete. I am grateful.
And because he's so grateful, we get a divine grass. But the story's not over just yet, because this is a From Software game, and because his duty's been fulfilled, we can all probably guess what's about to happen. There is the other sister that we first met just outside of the palace nobles, warning us about the arena.
You've been through so much, Father. Though it may not be for eternity, my sister and I will always be with you. So please, Father, rest now.
From here, we'll head to the Pot Noble, so we can see what's become of him. And the dialogue is ever so slightly different, but the reward is the same. Just outside the pot, we get another lapis lazuli. And then you can see another carp that wasn't there before. So it looks like they may have finally gotten their wish.
Precious. Much more precious. Give me more skills.
And yet the addiction continues, so I'm not really sure what they've accomplished. But you can see we still have 20 scales on us, which is enough for the mask fragment left, the mask fragment right, and I know we haven't talked much about this, but we will soon, and the divine grass. And that is everything that the Pot Nobles had to offer because their inventories are combined. If we were to go back to the other Pot Noble, we would find his pot knocked over and he is dead, but there's nothing there, so I won't even be going back there.
Splendid. Splendid.
From here, it is time that we start wrapping up Fountainhead Palace, and I will be heading to the Palace Grounds Idol. All of these nobles remain dead, so we're just going to head this way. There are some white geckos over there. Now this is something interesting that I could actually show off here if I can sneak around them. We talked about it briefly when we got the bestowal ninjutsu. Grab this amiibo balloon of soul. Let's see if we can do it. It's not going to really do anything for us, but just kind of a neat little feature. Well, I'll try it on another gecko, but these geckos, if you can sneak up on them and get a sneaking death blow, you can actually see how, if you didn't notice, the geckos spew out that white liquid that causes us to leech life, and it's actually giving them health. You can use bestowal to get that ability on your sword, that lifesteal ability, and as you hit enemies, you actually get some health back. It's kind of a cool feature. I wish there were more times to use it. But as we zip on up here, start walking through these torii gates, it's quite the show. Now, this area, there's only 3 more Okami between us and the final boss of this area, which is the Divine Dragon. But this can be tough because they are elite and they do all have lightning attacks. What I like to do, though, is I'm going to become stealthy. I'm going to go ahead and back up here because the one with the ball has already seen me, so I can talk about my strategy. What I want to do is sneak past them, get up to the idol, and then attack them from behind because I have kind of a neat little trick to separate them. provided I can now get past them even with my Gachin Spirit Fall. The one with the ball is just so perceptive. We'll use our Spirit Fall. And now I'm just going to sprint right up to the idol. And if they see me, they see me. As long as we're fast. Grab this idol and rest to reset it. There we have it. And while this is still active, I am just going to quickly go down here. I have not been able to get a stealth death blow or a jumping death blow on him, but we're just going to absolutely demolish him. Just some simple R1s. You can see the other two right there. What I want to do while Gachin is still active, I'm going to swap out for my finger whistle, specifically the Mountain Echo. So we're going to go right here and then back up, because that of course is going to cause them to go to that location. There's the whistle. Let's head around here. And now we just wait. Otherwise, I have not found any way to sneak behind them, and I really have no interest in fighting them both at the same time, because being elites and having lightning, I'm just not that good at the lightning reversal. So we're going to wait nice and patiently over to the side here. He's going to turn around first, but we should be able to get one or not, if not both of them, especially if I use my blood smoke. So he's going to start. The other one follows pretty quickly. Whichever one is furthest behind is the one that gets death blowed. And blood smoke. And there we have it. Not a bad little farm either, giving over 1,000 experience apiece. Plenty of loot to be had. Now from here, this is actually where I can show off that bestowal. It's not going to do any good, like I said, but just for fun. So we're going to go down into this corner, drop down. It has to be a stealth death blow, otherwise it doesn't work. But now you can see that really cool effect. Normally it's red, but if you get one of the regular green geckos, you can get poison. If you get one of these white geckos, you can get the lifesteal, which is pretty cool. Now sadly there's no more loot hidden down here, so I'm just going to head back this way. I could have just used my idol, that's alright. And actually, there we go, that worked. I was able to at least show the lifesteal on that second gecko. Hooray. Yeah, if they had just positioned those geckos somewhere where you could use them as a buff more effectively, I think that would have been a really cool mechanic. And that's it. We have one item to pick up along the way, and Fountainhead Palace is all but complete. All that stands in our way is the Divine Dragon himself. Grab this dragon's blood droplet. We head up to the top, watch the lightning strikes, really cool. And this is the woman that I believe that palanquin was for, the Shrine Maiden. And she just sits here quietly. In fact, if you come back after you defeat the dragon, it says that she is sleeping soundly. But let's pray.
The Divine Realm.
So this fight, this is a gimmick fight. This is the most gimmicky fight of Sekiro. But in terms of gimmick fights go, I think this is actually kind of fun, to be honest. What we need to do is we need to take out all of these pale dragon trees in order for the true divine dragon to appear. Now right now, we don't have any way of killing them other than simply attacking, but since there's so many lumped together, we can use some mortal draw to get at least quite a few of them at the same time. If we're close enough, that is. And then once we start to kill them, we will eventually get these trees that sprout, which gives a really cool opportunity to use some death blows from above. Here we go. Those do damage to you, by the way, so don't just stand there and let them hit you. But watch when we get a jumping death blow on this one. It kills everything in sight within a certain radius, and look at the health bar just drop. But this is only phase 1. And now I guess I need more to spawn. There we have it. Now these eventually will go away. So just be aware of that. Get ready for more to be summoned. And there are some dark dragon trees that appear, like that one right there. They do nothing for the health bar, so definitely just focus on these ones, these pale ones. And that is phase 1. And yet someone else missing their left arm. So the Divine Dragon's going to start by launching us backwards. You really want to be sprinting this whole time. When he's doing these horizontal or these vertical slashes, just run back and forth. And you want to be looking for the branch that has the lightning above it, which in this case is this one right here. Now if he does this, start running back, otherwise you're going to be launched straight up. And before I jump up, so he's doing the vertical again. As soon as he's done with his third slash, I'm going to grapple up to this one with lightning. We're going to catch it and send it on back. And miss somehow. And get hit. Alright. So here's some horizontals, which we want to just jump over. There's going to be 2 of those. And then grapple. Catch the lightning, send it on back. There's a good hit. I'm going to start sprinting again, because that one has lightning. So we got vertical. 2. We're going to run backwards. Jump and catch and send it on back. Completely miss. And run backwards. Oh, get launched anyway. That's alright. You do have to kind of aim the lightning, which I'm not very good at. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's a solid hit. He is going to change his tactics a little bit once we get him about 3/4 of the way down. Here's some horizontal jump over. 1 and 2. Hit. So I'm just constantly sprinting while I run around. There's some vertical. Catch the lightning. Good hit. There's the horizontal to jump over. Lightning all the way at the end. If he's doing the vertical, I do not believe it's a good time to jump. So let's just do 2 and then 3, then we'll jump up. And now he should change it up on us. So notice the trees are gone, and it's time to just start running. When he does these kind of angular attacks, just keep running just like we did with the verticals. He's going to mix it up with some horizontal slashes though, and a straight poke. You can deflect it just like I did there. Nope. Watch those verticals. He's going to do a stab. Nope. And that was not good. Because if you dodge all those, the fight's pretty much over. Let's jump up here, catch the lightning, and send it back. Apparently miss again. I've never had this happen. I guess we have to rinse and repeat that now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Try this again. Well, I guess this episode, if nothing else, shows you that I am human. But after that final hit, the posture bar's filled up, we're going to run up his sword and finish the fight. And we get the gracious gift of tears. Transports us back to Ashina Castle. We have the memory of the Divine Dragon, ancient deity of the Everblossom, and we also get the Divine Dragon's tears. The gracious gift of tears can only be granted by the mortal blade. The body of the Divine Dragon is eternal, and its tears, once shed, will maintain their form and moisture in perpetuity. Should one of the dragon's heritage partake of the dragon's tears, immortal severance will be reified. And that's the final ingredient we need in order to rescue Lord Kuro, depending on your interpretation of that. But what's this? Has Emma murdered Ishin Ashina? I guess you'll just have to tune in next time. But that is going to do it for this episode of Everything Possible in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I hope you're still enjoying, and I hope you learned something. And if you did, let me know in a comment below what you learned, and if I missed something, or if you have another strategy for any of the mistakes that I made today, which were numerous, please put that down below so we can all keep learning. But I want to thank you all so much for watching, and me and the murderous Lady Emma will see you next time.